Oh yeah, most def.
I'll be sharing some. I'm gonna share one version of this post to the group and another one on my personal.
All right, cool. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? As we promised you guys, another episode of Eat the Cake Anime is coming back, where we talk about some of the more popular animes, and future episodes we'll talk about some of the ones that are deemed classics that more of the modern anime fans haven't probably tapped into yet. But for this one, should be an anime that most people have heard of. If you haven't watched it, read the manga, or like walked into a Spencer's or a Hot Topic, or seen your random anime head out with one of the shirts. We're talking about My Hero Academia, and again, probably another one of the franchises that helped the love of anime spread worldwide outside of the confines of Japan. But without further ado, go ahead and play this intro, and then we can get started on the conversation. Gentlemen, probably one of the shows I look forward to doing the most. We got Smoke Pit. I know Deante has a Saturday Night Nerds and stuff, but I like this one because we try to keep it low key, just a conversation. Um, we try to have some structure, but I mean, it's just something that I love to talk about. I hate that I had to get to the age of 43 to find a safe zone to be able to chop it up about anime. But again, like we talked about on previous seasons of Saturday Night Nerds, man, like it's what a time to be alive if you're an anime nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Man, big time, man. My Hero Academia should have put a lot of us on the map. And if not the old school, at least some of the new school that came in, because it's like between Demon Slayer and this, they're huge fan favorite and very popular in multiple countries. You see people cosplaying 24/7 in Bakugo, and it's the shit. I love it.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. And it's one of those things where I know Kenpachi's not here, but we talked kind of offline after episode 1. Probably one of the animes that started people theorizing and trying to generate the new big 3. If you're a true anime head, the OG big 3, I guess the only big 3 in most people's eyes, One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Based on, I think it was manga sales back in the day in Japan, and the anime and stuff. A lot of people wonder why Dragon Balls isn't in it, or Dragon Ball Z, things along those lines. But we don't make the rules, man. We just respect our elders who came before us and anointed Bleach, Naruto, and as the big 3. I've seen 2 of the 3. One of the big 3 is still going on. So shout out to One Piece and the team and the creative mind behind that, man. Like, salute your endurance, my boy, because you keep it coming. And when you are done, you deserve all the rest, my boy.
That's plus ultra right there, big time.
Bro, true. But let us get started. Like we were talking about My Hero Academia. So, of course, how we start over here on Eat the Cake Anime, we got to give you the breakdown on the creation of the manga before the anime and a little background on the creator on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our section, creating the manga. Cool. All right. So it goes without saying, this one was created by, again, like I told y'all, episode 1. I'm gonna try to do these names justice. All right. So if you know the person and you speak Japanese, don't come for me in the comments. I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying. But My Hero Academia, a manga series created by Kohei Hirokoshi. And it started because Hirokoshi was previously working on a couple of anime or mangas, Barrage and another one, but they ended after 2 volumes. So he was trying to figure out something, the next big thing, right? And during this time, the phenomenon that was sweeping across the world was Marvel movies, MCU, superheroes, all of that. So he kind of looked at that, wanted to put a little, shonen spin on that. The protagonist that comes from nothing and becomes something fantastic. The old shonen recipe that has my nose open every time somebody creates one, man. You gotta love the underdog story, man. It's in the human nature to root for the underdog.
They got a goal to achieve, man. They got to grind and rise their way up to the top.
Yep. So mixing some of that, he goes to say he was a big fan of American films and comics like Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi ones, Star Wars, X-Men, Naruto being the main influence for the art style when it comes to creating and illustrating the manga. Dragon Balls, Ultraman, a lot of other things that came into it, but I think, to me, he could not have been more on the head at this time. I think it was early 20. Let me bring it up, make sure I'm not misquoting anything as far as when, but I want to say like 2013, I believe. They started creating and working on the manga. July 7th, 2014 is when it was published. So about 2013, maybe they were in the works before they started publishing it in July that the following year. But to hit that on the head, to kind of mesh the superhero aspect with the shonen aspect, was like a match made in heaven at that point in media. You know what I'm saying? Like you could not have put 2 perfectly good things together at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
But looking at that, coming up with that, and then releasing that. So as of April 4th of this year, 40 volumes have been released. So we're looking at about 10 chapters, 11 chapters or so combined to make 1 volume. So you're looking at about 400 chapters of this, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go down here and look at this. Yep. So on top of that, My Hero Academia is also one of the few anime or mangas to sell over 100 million copies of the manga. So for it only being 2014 until now, 10 years. So I think it hit 100 million this April. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of these up and coming anime and manga are like going gangbusters lately. And I believe My Hero was kind of like the gateway that kind of paved the way for Demon Slayer that came a little bit after it. Right. But I mean, like what's your take on that? Like you look at manga that have been out for years, like Bleach, 15 years, 74 volumes, that's only at 100 million, estimated. Demon Slayer, obviously in 4 years, it's at 150 and probably still climbing. People still buying that manga. Naruto's been out for like 15, 250. But the thing with My Hero is it's still ongoing, unlike Demon
Yeah.
Slayer. So more and more are coming. So what are your thoughts on that and the popularity of, I guess, more modern manga selling gangbusters like it's doing?
Man, My Hero Academia definitely can attribute most of that success from the anime. Uh, I, I've met a few fans that were like day one for the manga, like as soon as that was released, and then they heard the original announcement that they was going to get an anime. That was a fan base that was already prepared for it, and then word got to America, and a lot of people were just like, "There's a show that's like Crunchyroll is pushing." No, Funimation was pushing it
Mm-hmm.
heavy, and they had a really popular English dub, all star cast of people playing it. I didn't even know some of the voice actors were, but they all turned out to be a perfect fit because as far as anime goes, My Hero is definitely one of my top five English dub anime to watch. Like I don't have to watch it in Japanese to enjoy it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the people that started out with the manga and transferred over to the anime, they are very pleased with how it's been adapted. And when word travels around and people keep finding out, like, yo, My Hero Academia is actually a really good shonen series. Let's go pick up the manga. So it's like working hand in hand, and their numbers is skyrocketing. Uh, for the people who do believe in like the next generation big three, my hero is definitely one of the top dogs, and it's a pretty good story. It should end pretty soon. Word on the street, the series is supposed to end this year, but I don't know how true that is or not.
My man, my man Kyohei, he was quoted last year at a conference saying that it should be ending shortly, but then retracted that statement because what he is saying is this isn't going to be one of those series that ends shortly after the death of the main antagonist. That there's
Mhm.
some play out. I would say probably along the lines of like a Hunter x Hunter. If
Yeah,
anybody's familiar with that, the quote unquote big baddie gets taken care of, and then you're watching it, and it's kind of tough if you're just getting into anime, if you're just there for the good versus bad, good wins, and then like there's new episodes coming out. If you were hooked to all the action and the drama of all that, and you're just seeing people, you know, living their life, and he's just kind of trying to put a bow on all the characters moving forward. You're just like, what the fuck? You should have just ended it after that. But I mean, if you watched it from start to finish, it kind of helps the viewer or the reader, whichever one you're doing, either watching the anime or reading the manga, um, kind of have some kind of closure when it comes to all of that. So I'm not mad at it. The fact that he doesn't know when it's going to definitively end, I'm okay with. As long as the material is good and the story ends, I guess it's hit or miss. However, he ends it. Some people may like it, some people may not. But as long as you get to end it on your terms as the creator of this property, I'm all for it. So
yeah, I definitely appreciate his efforts up until that. He's been a part of so much controversy since he put out this manga too.
yes,
There has been times where he was just like, I'm going to quit altogether because people didn't like what happened in a certain arc that he wrote, and it's just like, just let the man cook. Like every author has done this before with their series. Why is it different with him? And all the harassment he's gotten on social media and all that made him like delete his accounts before, and like people wouldn't even know where to find him because he didn't have social media for a while. So it's
yeah,
like, man, he sounds like a really good guy. It's a really fun story he wrote, and I appreciate all the American homage that he's been paying with some of these characters. So I'm fine with My Hero and everything that's been going on ever since.
Indeed. So we do have people watching, and shout out to everybody who's tuning in. We got my man Black in here, the homegirl Jen, Aaron Christine is in here. Blake just jumped in. So appreciate everybody tuning in. But so I'll give this question to you, Deante. So Black is in here. He's never really gotten into the anime. He's asking if the manga would be a good starting place. So would you, I mean, the anime is started like a few episodes in, probably about 4 or 5 episodes into season 7. So I mean, it's not like you got to wait week after week. You can actually binge the manga or binge the anime or read the manga. Which one would you prefer to put newcomers to this anime on?
Yeah, because if it was Demon Slayer, I would have said start with the manga first for sure. But with My Hero Academia, it's a little bit laid back. It's a very down to earth story. You could definitely start with the English dub if you wanted to. So that way you didn't you put it on sub, you turn your head for 1 second,
Bro, gone.
a whole art just came out.
Why they fighting, bro?
The sense of humor behind this comic too is just insane. Like it's almost like an American person wrote this series, and those of you who don't know like what My Hero Academia is about, it's basically Zuko Midoriya is he's a kid with a quirk, which is basically a superpower. Most of the planet Earth has superpowers, so it's just like you have to choose if you want to live your life the villain way or you want to choose to live your life the hero way. And he wanted to be a hero so bad, but actually, let me correct myself. He didn't have a quirk, and he gained a quirk from his mentor. That his mentor ended up being the #1 hero in the whole in the whole world, including Japan, where where his home is. And Izuku Midoriya gets sent to this academy called UA, and that's where they train to become professional heroes, and they'll save the day. But they have to train and do all the politics and PR that goes into it. But along the journey, he makes a lot of friends with his classmates. They all work together, and each and every character has their own individual personality and story that goes along with it. You can find one, pick a favorite, and get attached to them for sure. In English dub, it's very good voice acting. In Japanese, it's very good voice acting. I would start with the anime first, and then go back to the manga. Cause maybe that might help, like trigger some nostalgia.
I agree. If it's already, in the animated form, it's easier to pick up and digest because trying to, I mean, you could get the Shonen Jump, app and read the anime that or the manga that way. But looking at it, if it's already in animated form and it's going and we can confirm, it's pretty much there's not that much deviation from the manga to the anime, so you're not really going to be missing out on a whole lot. But after the anime wraps up, you want to go back and read the manga because there are some like side stories. There's some characters that don't get enough run in the show. But it I don't want to spoil anything. There are some characters that come up in the show in for a couple episodes and bounce, and you're just like, it feels like there's something more to that character, but the show's got to move on. If you go and read the manga, you can see exactly what, because I mean, there's a lot of characters you'll get that feeling for, like, I'm feeling like there was something a little bit more behind this person than what they let on. So,
right.
But yeah, I would say if you're brand new to this property, just start with the anime. You could just binge right through it, short episodes. It's dope. But yeah, the setting, just like you said, Deante, it takes place. 80% of the population has quirks, right? And I think it just kind of puts the reader or the viewer in the position of, if I did have powers, would I use them for good or would I use them for evil? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What side would I lean on? And then also, depending on your quirk, that kind of, I would say, makes people look at you in a certain light, because not to give too much away, but the main antagonist of this this the anime, or at least this current arc going on. Um, when he found out his power was like whoever I touch is going to decay, like it's kind of hard to be a hero at that point. You know, people look at you, you're killing people, you're evil and stuff, so that can kind of drive you to be a certain way. So um it's a world where I'm surprised nobody has really talked about it, you know, kind of explored that world until now. I mean, you get the shows like The Boys where it's like, you know, if superheroes existed today, but there's still like one out of every, you know, it's not as prevalent as it is in the world of My Hero, you know. So I think that's the big thing. And then of course, like you said, the protagonist being someone who was born quirkless, which is like 20% of the population of the world. You're like the outlier, and you want it so bad, and you get this opportunity to become a hero. So he's trying to learn all the way through. And for me, I'm a sucker for you know, character development. That's why Naruto is up there for me, watching him go from the lonely, hard-headed orphan, knuckleheaded ninja sitting on the swing to being the Hokage he is now. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing that whole development. And then now he out here with a hard-headed ass kid. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So as a kid who grew into an adult and had kids myself, I'm just like, yeah, Naruto, yeah, that shit hard, ain't it?
Yeah.
You thought beating Madara was hard, huh? Now look at
Ooh.
somebody trying to raise kids. It's hard.
He's like, man, this little motherfucker won't listen to me at all.
Oh, he's doing everything Naruto used to do, man. So I mean, hey, listen, when y'all grow up, when parents be telling you, man, your kid's gonna be just as bad as you, bro. Trust me, that shit is real. Because I'll be looking at my kids like, why are you doing? Never mind, I did the same.
Oh man.
Let me let y'all learn. Let me let y'all learn, because
it's like you a chip off your dad's old block, huh? That's
off
what we
the
doing.
old block there. But no, like I said, it's a oh man, it's the story, the setting, the pencil and ink, pen and ink, you know, animation in the manga, just amazing all around. Like I'm just, when I sit and think about how fast they got to produce these things over there in Japan, and I look at the quality of work that goes into each issue of these things, I'm just like, bro, like you are humping it out there.
Man.
Like you are on your job constantly. And for the quality of the storytelling and the art to not drop, like it's a testament to how much this person cares about what they're doing. And once the creator cares, bro, I'm all in. Like once I see the creator cares about what they're doing, that like it could be easy. And there's other manga properties that have done it. Just put stuff out for quantity and not so much quality.
Exactly.
And you know, they lose the fan base. You know what I'm saying? It starts, people start saying and talking about it, and now you're not where you used to be. You know, Promise Neverland. So it's one of those 7 Deadly Sins. You know, like there's a lot of examples out there, but it's good to see that Kohei and his team of editors and stuff. And shout out to his editors that aren't really, you know, pressing him too much, trying to get him to change too much from his original concept and things like that. I feel like that also kind of gets in the way of the consumer, the fans, getting the creators' intent and like their full intent of what they want you to get from the art, you know. So when you got editors and companies that back off, and like you said, let my man cook.
Yeah,
that's where you get it, you know.
Yeah, because it's like the entire cast is comprised of, well, not the entire cast, majority of the cast is comprised of teenagers and hero academy students. So a lot of this is just like watching each and every single one of them grow up in their own sort of way. We get to watch Midoriya mature a little bit. Bakugo, which is like he's a very interesting character that y'all will be meeting very soon. Even he grows up a little bit, so it's just like, man, to be a hero, you really have to put on like your adult shoes and get out there and face like things that you're afraid of and overcome things that was holding you back. So I really appreciate this story.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, Blake came on and he said he heard that it'd be a good introduction into anime. And based on your love of comics, Blake, I would say that, like, you know, Kohei was just like, I know a guy named Blake Hitman. I know what he like. This could not be the better. I couldn't name a better anime for you to get into, man. Like, easily, I think you'll tap into this one. I will say, I read the manga, but I was introduced to the anime before I read the manga. And throughout, reading it and watching it, like, my favorite character has changed probably 6-7 times. Like, oh, I'm really rocking with this. Nah, this my dude now. Or this the homegirl right here. So it, and I think that's also incredible when you have a show where, like, the character development of everybody, you're just like, they may not be like the most shining, the main character moving forward, but in that moment, they realize something, or they mature to a point where, and you're just like, that's my motherfucking dog right there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My motherfucking dog right there.
Man, they grow up so fast.
Yes, sir. But so we showed love to the anime, or the manga. Like I said, 100 million copies sold and climbing. So who knows where the final number is going to be for this one? But Kohei, just keep the great content coming, and over here at Eat the Cake Anime, we're gonna keep watching it, we're gonna keep reading it, and keep promoting it, man. So salute to you, sir. And now I think it's time that we talk about what the show's kind of based on, the anime portion, and talk about the animators, the studios, and the reception that My Hero has been getting on the anime side. Yes, sir. So it didn't take long. When you put out a great manga, it starts selling gangbusters like that. Some businesses get the big eyes and be like, hey, let's do something. Now, again, like we talked about, you got to maneuver this part of the business a certain way, right? If you just give it to any animation company, it can make and break your property. Again, 7 Deadly Sins.
Man.
To this day. But I think for this one, they went the right choice. They could have easily went to a MAPPA, Photoball, what other Wit, one of the bigger names that are out there. But they went with Bones, which if you're not familiar with what they do, some of the bigger name ones that you probably have heard of, the Mob Psycho, they animate that one, which animation crazy on that.
Yeah,
crazy
trip.
Animation crazy. They also do Bungo Stray Dogs, again, another great one. Animation crazy. So it's a very high quality animation studio, and I think to attest to that, when you talk about My Hero, that would be another feather in the cap of Bones animation. What do you think?
Man, My Hero Academia, the way that they adapted it so that Japanese and the English dub is fire. The characters have their own personality. They crack jokes the same way kids in America would crack jokes with one another. What would I say about this? So, because even the villains, they're in the same age range almost as the kids from UA. They go through their own trauma and they have to deal with their trauma a certain way, different from how everybody else does. They don't have the luxury of going to school and getting mentored by how I say this, like good role models, I guess.
Yeah.
And they have to lean on the main antagonist of the entire series, All for One, for advice and on how to what type of villain that they want to be.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because not only are you following the development, the growth of the young heroes, the rookies, if you will, that are coming up, but the pro heroes that are out there, like you stated, All Might being the number one at the time, Endeavor being number two, so forth and so on, New Genius, Best Genius number three, and so forth and so on. But you kind of get invested in the pro heroes as well. You get a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of their backstory. Um, you see, like when it comes to world level threats, the adults getting together trying to figure something out, and at the same time being adults trying to take care and protect the children, the up and coming heroes, the rookies. And the further you get into the story, you start seeing the kids like, nah, man, we ain't kids no more. Like, we need all hands on deck for this. Like, we've been practicing, we've been through this stuff. And that's not more apparent than I think the first time where they're doing their training, and they run into the villains for the first time, like you know, one for was it one for all?
All for One,
Yeah, all for
yeah.
that, bro. That back and forth. I'm just like, is it one for all,
Man,
all for one? When he sends the villains into their little training site, and the Namu shows up, right? And everybody's trying to give it their best shot. And at this time, it's like the villain's number one weapon, and All Might has to show up and
he
run
go to
them
work.
hands. I'm just like, this my dude right here. This my dude right here. So again, it was one
Man,
of the episodes. Like I saw that episode before I read it, but like even reading it and seeing it still image and stuff, like you still get that emotional, like my man is there for the things he's willing to do to protect the children. You're looking at Deku. He's like really focused on Deku because he's that's low key like his his Padawan in a sense. That's my next up. I inherited this quirk. So for all you who are unfamiliar, the quirk that All Might has is One for All, and it's a quirk that gets handed down from one hero to another. And each time a new hero gets it, they add a new quirk to that. They add a new power to that quirk, and then when it gets handed to the next person, they have the ability to use all the quirks from the previous owners up until now. So he has it. He knows he's not going to be able to handle it much longer. Gives it to Deku, and now Deku's running with it. So he just wants to make sure that this quirk continues to live on and not get stolen by his antagonist or his nemesis, All for One, whose power is to steal quirks and use them all himself. So that's kind of the basis right now. Those two quirks are destined to meet head to head. And like I said, the arc that's going on right now in the anime is kind of getting closer and closer to that final confrontation between was it Tamagotchi? Oh, I'm saying the wrong.
what is not Toguro, it's Shigaraki Tomura, I think.
Yes. Um, who is the one that's running around with kind of All for One in a sense, because
Yeah.
All for One is still alive. And then it's like I said, it's really crazy right now. You got to be tapped in. But I digress. We looking at Bones and everything that they've worked on. Animation from season 1 to now has not dropped off at all. I'm sitting there looking. I haven't seen anything fishy, as far as making workers do all of that stuff. So again, another great company, and they seem to be doing justice to the writing and to the source material. Voice actors, like I've been watching it in sub, so again, it's one of those things where I go to a con and they're just like, hey, this is the voice of Deku, and it's like the dub actor, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm sure you're doing your thing, but I don't really.
Man.
So I think like when I do a rewatch or whatever, I may watch it in the dub. You know what I'm saying? Just to show them some love too. But the voice acting is phenomenal. It's like you said, they get the emotions right in it. They ensure that all the emotional parts of the manga are treated just as careful and if not more impactful in the animated version. I will give a quick clip, like when they go and rescue Bakugo from the League of Villains, and then All Might, he just has just enough time left with All for or One for All, and he's going head to head, bro. And my man hit him with that fucking United States of Smash. My man hit him with it. His head came down on him. And then my man put his hand up and pointed at the screen, pointing at Deku, like, it's all on you now, kid. I was just like,
pass the torch, Steven. Pass the torch.
Like, you read that part of the manga, you're like, damn, man, that's deep. And then when you see it happen, you're like, yo, I had no, like, my imagination couldn't have imagined it rolling out like that. After seeing it in the manga and seeing the anime, like, there's no way I could have animated it like that. you know?
I give them all the props for that, because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of concentration and attention to detail to get everything right. Even if they make small changes and deviate from the manga, like the anime still been pretty on point. I have complaints about the opening theme songs. That's just me. I think it was either season 1 or 3. It was peak theme song.
You didn't like the second opening?
Is that the one where? Is that the one with the funky song? I have to look up the song, but season 3, I believe, was the one that kind of went viral, and then everything after that had just been like, I'm just gonna skip straight to the story. But the storytelling,
like there, yeah, man, like there was one. It was called like Odd Future or something.
That's the one.
Like, I'm not.
That's the one.
Like, we may have to throw a segment for like music for these things, like how we rock with the music. But speaking of the anime, bro, the score.
Oh man.
When certain scenes are happening, certain events are happening, bro, the score is on point. You know what I'm saying? The score is on point. The most inspirational. I don't know who the conductor is in that studio when they're recording these things, but motherfucker, that shit, they probably have to have fire extinguishers at the ready. They probably wearing the fire retardant suits because the fucking heat that they are coming with on this is bananas.
Oh man, it's very inspirational, because it's just like every moment down to the very minute detail. Like if Izuku's like facing an obstacle and he's like discouraged or disappointed, and then another character walks up and says something motivational to him, and then he gets amped up and he's ready to throw hands with somebody, and it's just like the music in the background hypes you up too. So it's like, damn, I want to fight somebody too. Bro. But My Hero Academia is a lot of feelings that go into it.
Yuki Hayashi, my man, keep doing what you're doing, sir. I just had to look you up because I had to say your name. Yuki Hayashi, what you are doing with the score for this season, this series, this property, bro, keep cooking, because you had me not only downloading the score for this anime and just like playing it just casual. Like I'll be in the office, put it on shuffle, and this joint will come on. I'll be like, man, come on, bro. Man. I'll be in there. I'll be like typing an email, feeling that, and then you know the score that comes on, the inspirational one.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, plus ultra. Type out I'll be on my shit. You know what I'm saying? But the music I feel plays a big role in this, because like I said, not only this, I think the first season, when they had the sports day, and it's Deku versus Todoroki, and that whole story behind that. Like he's like, I'm gonna just use my eyesight because I got beef with my dad, and he's how I got my fire side, so I ain't giving him the pleasure of seeing me use his powers. And Deku's like, nah, you want to beat me, you gotta go all out. So,
Man.
bro, the animation for that fight alone, I'm just like, bro, like out the gate, we doing this? Okay. Okay. But we've obviously we're singing the praises, but there's plenty of like we talked about with Kenpachi episode 1. The world of anime, like they just can't all come together and have a cohesive award show. I will say the biggest one obviously is the Crunchyroll Awards, but like Kenpachi said, they're kind of biased because they only talk about shows that are on their streaming service, right?
Yeah.
But looking at that, because they do have a lot of bangers on their service. So we're looking at this off the rip. Like in 2016, you got My Hero Season Academia, My Hero Academia season 1 was nominated for the best action anime. It lost to Mob Psycho. Deku and Kachan was I think that was the fight where Bakugo was upset that All Might chose him because he was just as big a fan as All Might as Deku was. So that he's like, bro, why did he choose you? What's so special about you? And they was going at it, the most emotional. And Deku was like, bro, I ain't trying to fuck with you, but if you coming at me like this, I'm gonna put the paws on you. So, it's them like hashing that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a Naruto in Sasuke type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it was like Craig and Devo for real.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like,
Deku grabbed the brick and had to go upside his head.
It's like, look, I'm not trying to fight you, but if you want, this is what it's gonna be. This is what it's gonna be. Tamura Shigaraki.
Yeah.
So that's the dude I was talking about. Was nominated for Villain of the Year. Midoriya won for Hero of the Year. He was also nominated for Best Boy. Ochaka was nominated for Best Girl. It was nominated for Anime of the Year. It lost to Yuri on Ice. But son, season 2 came out, bro. It was like a clean sweep almost, bro. It won for Best Animation. It got Best Opening for Peace Sign, Best Action, Best Villain for Hero Killer Stain, Best Hero, Midoriya, Best Boy, Midoriya and Todoroki, they both won. Best Girl, Ochako and Asui won. Little Froppy, right?
Yeah.
She's a sleeper, by the way, when it comes to Best Girl. I don't know if y'all fucking with that, but it lost out to Best Anime to Made in Abyss. And then like each season, they continue to win like Best Voice Actor, All for One, Best Antagonist, the Best Film. I don't know about that one. The Two Heroes. I was like, Best Fight, All for One versus All Might. So I mean, it's constantly getting high praises. You look at Rotten Tomatoes, it's 100% certified fresh. IMDb, I think, has it like 4.8 out of 5. So I mean, it's one of those anime where you're looking at like you really don't see any cracks and weaknesses. But let me ask you this. I don't know if you picked up on it, but there was a time where every week somebody was talking about My Hero, and then all of a sudden nobody was talking about My Hero anymore. Did you notice that as well too?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if this is people are up and down with their opinions or what's going on, but so far with this recent season, it's been banger after banger, and it's just like if I could do consistent content as a content creator on My Hero Academia, I totally would, especially for this season.
Yeah, I don't know when it was like I'm trying to figure out what arc what season it was, but like it just I don't know if it was so much the here's what I want to believe that it was. That so many other dope anime were coming out, like people's attention went to that more so than the quality of My Hero dropping. Because there are certain certain arcs that aren't as action heavy, right?
Yeah.
And you know that happens in a lot of these properties, manga, anime. So some people are just like, the action ain't in it this season, but this anime over here is popping off. So this is what I'm gonna talk about now. So I'm guessing that's what it was. There was a time where I kind of stepped back, um, because I think it was when I kind of stepped away. It was after the arc where they saved old girl from Overhaul, and my man Lemillion showed up.
Man.
Bro, and bro, there was a time he was up there on my shit. I'm like, bro, this is my dude. This is the number one. He's everything a hero needs to be.
Exactly. And he goes through a tragedy too. So it's like, damn, man.
What's
I
up,
can't get
Michelle?
attached to nobody.
Nobody. And I'm just like, man, this dude shows up. He was like the number 3 ranked or the number 1 ranked hero at the school as far as students go. Because you know they introduced the big 3, and you're just like, damn, man, what makes Lemillion that dude? And he shows up, and
I'm gonna prove it.
you know, then he got hit with that dart, and then he was just like, yeah. But you know, even though he knew he was going to get hurt, like his powers were not there no more, like, he was still taking them hits to protect old girl because he's like, this is what a hero is about. And you know, that's why, you know, I'm a sucker, bro. I always like to see the good in people step up, like just people just doing decent stuff. And Deku's just like, that's what I want to do. Like, there's no reason this little girl should be out here crying, you know?
Right.
I'll do everything I can save all the people that I can save and all that stuff. So I'm just like, this is what I'm about. But I think after that arc, you know, I think they start talking about, oh, we're gonna have a school concert, and you know, we got to come together and figure out how to put this band together and do stuff. And I'm just like, oh, it's one of these arcs.
Man, I
And I
think
kind of fell off. It. I'm not gonna hold nobody. You know, I fell off of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, there was certain arcs where just like the pacing kind of killed the vibe a little bit. Like I followed along the story about as closely as I could, but it was just like there. You start the series off with the way you did, and you get to like a halfway point, and you're just like, man, I gotta take a damn break. It's like, this might not go over well with people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. Oh man,
bro. Don't talk about 0 to 100, man. Like you were well, like, bro, man, these kids get no breaks, bro. Like when my man Deku was out there trying to save the little water squirt kid from Muscular, my man was out there just hulking up, and I'm just like, bro, Deku, you might take this L, you know, like I'd have to take this L. But I mean, it's stuff like you go from heavy episodes like that, and then you know, they take out one of the big bads, Overhaul, who's been just causing all kinds of damage and stuff around, and they end him. My man was able to use all for one 100% full cowling because of I think her name is Erie. Her quirk is the rewind, so all the stuff that he's damaging, she's renewing it so he can just go all out the whole time. So you get to see that for the first time. You're just like, bro, this shit is wild, man. And then it goes from that to, you know, they're back at school, and it's like, hey, we got to put on this school fair with the other hero schools and all this stuff, and we don't get along, and I'm like, boo,
man.
Punch somebody, like,
please. I want to see stuff get blown up.
Yeah. So
I think
go ahead.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments. I'm not going to get too spoiler heavy with this one, but what y'all need to know is, or look forward to, is there's a scene where Lemillion and Deku meet Overhaul for the first time, and Eri is with him, and she's just like stressed out, look like she's been doing not too well, and she's scared of being with Overhaul. Deku immediately picked up on the vibe, and he was just like, hey, if you want me to beat this dude ass, It's on
Yep.
right now. And they were standing there ready to square up and throw down with like a very dangerous villain out the gate. And whew, I got goosebumps from seeing that scene. And there's so many more scenes just like that in My Hero Academia. So look, you got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I know exactly the part you're talking about. And like Deku was just like, bro, I'm about to fight this dude on sight. Like, I'm probably not ready, but you know, I'm gonna have to get there. Like, I can't let him take her because I can tell she doesn't want to be there with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's one of those where that happens, and that's probably why people kind of fell off because Demon Slayer comes out and people are just like, bro, this is the new hotness. JJK comes out, this the new hotness. Chainsaw Man coming out, this the new hotness. It was so many new shonen big name things. Attack on Titan was coming back out with seasons, so people are just like, oh, we back on this now. So I feel like that's kind of why the buzz around My Heroes kind of flamed out. Now you got
Mm-hmm.
like Kenpachi talked about last week, Kaiju number 8 is on the scene. But here we are still talking about My Hero, just putting it out there. Yo, dope show. Please check it out. This season 6 was probably one of the best seasons of anime that I can recall in a while. The last few episodes, the reveal of who bro, I ain't trying to spoil it, but Endeavor was just like, nah. No.
Wait.
Wait a minute. You died. Oh,
Him?
you thought.
Well, I got some explaining to do.
Yep. Bro, that whole family going through some shit, bro. That whole family been through some shit, man. But this Saturday it's about to be real. This Saturday is about to be real, man. And I can't fucking wait to
It's
see this
going down.
episode coming up. But before we get to the next segment, I gotta ask you, in the anime so far, what's your best moment and who, as of today, is your top hero?
Let's see. I may have to do two because I know pro hero and student wise, man, it's so hard to just pick a guy. And everybody's had their moment to shine in this series. That's what's so crazy about it. Because outside of One Piece and maybe somewhat Naruto and Bleach, not a whole lot of anime will give each and every single character their moment to just go ham.
Right.
And in My Hero Academia, everybody has gone ham at least once. So it's just like, who had the hammiest moment out of all these guys? When I first started the series, of course, I was team is Midoriya, but I also really liked Ingenium, who is what is his name? Ida, something Ida, and he's the class president
Yep.
for Midoriya's class. And his brother let him inherit the suit. His quirk is basically super speed. He has an engine in the back of his legs, and he can just take off on people. Uh, he got the suit in the Stain arc, where it was one of the most iconic My Hero villains. And man, him and Todoroki and Midoriya went through hell just to take Stain down. But they were about that life, though. And those whole 3 or 4 episodes were like my favorite moment. So that's the student hero for me. Ingenium, and I guess I could tie him with he's the guy with the dark bird. I can't remember. I can't remember his name off the top
Oh,
of my head.
Tokiyama.
Yeah, he's a pretty dope character too. He's had about a couple arcs where he went crazy. As far as pro heroes go, I would say Eraserhead. Eraserhead has the quirk to turn off your quirk, and whew, that is very inconvenient for the ops. So
I would say that's probably like OP as hell, bro. Like
Yeah,
he's like a broken character, but I love how the writer writes around that. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be too easy. He just show up and stare at somebody. Like if he blinks, loses eye contact or anything. So that's why he continues to walk around with them eye drops. Or
yeah,
somebody got to continually like moisturize his eyes while he's staring. Cause like one blink or whatever, bro, and it's trouble. So
right. He's got to
but
go into combat with like that, and only thing defending him is them hands and that little cloth that's wrapped around his neck. Like God.
yep. Man, bro, the character list for this thing is ridiculous. Like I said, there's and you said it too. There's so many you can choose from. But like if I was gonna go with favorite moment, I'd have to say, when my man Lemillion was out there, aka Mirio, was out
Yeah,
there fighting overhaul, showing up, saving Erie. That was that was a moment for me, man. Like I was like, my man is up here. When it comes to like Shoto Todoroki, man.
mhm.
Like I ain't sleeping on Deku. He out here doing his thing. Like I love when he kind of went in this, was it previous season? Late last season when he was like on his vigilante. It's all on me. I gotta take care of this stuff.
Yeah,
And
Dark Deku arc.
yeah, when his costume started getting a little, you just like, ooh, my man is not, he down bad right now. My man down bad. He about to fuck something up for real, waiting for my man to show up. He's like, I'm just waiting for him to show up. He showed up on sight. And his friends came through and the power of friendship thing. But I allow it. I allow it. He was in a dark place. He a kid. Let him come back
Yeah,
to the light. For pro hero, damn. Eraser is up there, man. Eraser is up there. I don't know, man. I'd probably be right there with you. No, you know what? I'm gonna get that shit to Hawks.
yeah.
I'm gonna get that shit to Hawks.
He had to play triple, double, quadruple.
my man was what's that shit with LL Cool J, In Too Deep?
Yeah, in the trenches, man.
My man had to be, bro. He had to be on some real grimy shit. My man had to kill somebody, and bro, that shit set a whole nother, knocked over a whole nother thing of dominoes that's affecting some other people. But bro, he had to triple, quadruple agent. He's a double agent. He's a triple agent. Quadruple. For a minute, I'm just like, I don't know whose side he on for real.
Man, we got a problem. This is a
But
problem.
yeah, I would say it's probably between. For a minute, it was between Hawks and Endeavor. Like at first, I wasn't fucking with Endeavor, but when he came through, I think when he was just anointed being the number one hero, came through, took out that Namu, and I was with him and Hawks was both tag teaming it. I was like, all right, Endeavor, you may have something here. But then this last reveal, I'm just like, nah, you ain't shit to me, bro. Like you still a real one, but you ain't real. You got some things to work out. Hawks is back too. Like Hawks is my boy.
Yeah.
But nah, Eraser, man, he's my dude. Like, I just didn't want to double up on your pick. But yeah, so if you had to pick your favorite villain, who would it be?
I know him. At this point, it might be low hanging fruit if I say Stain. Stain, man, I'll switch it up for this one. Stain.
If Stain's your dude, man, because he was like, I know y'all kids, but I'm gonna still fuck y'all. Like the reason for his existence, like once you figure out why he does what he does, you be like, all right, I fucks with this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like he's just doing shit just to do shit. There's a purpose to it,
God, in My Hero Academia, it gets real pretty fast. So characters do die in this series. Like you get caught lacking by the wrong villain, they'll off you. Like you ain't coming back for any more seasons.
At all, bro. At all.
Stain was a whole serial killer. He was taking out other superheroes that he didn't approve of or didn't meet the bar that he wanted them to meet. So you're just like, hey, you ain't shit compared to All Might, so you gotta go.
Yeah. You're not a true hero. You're not doing it for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Therefore, you gotta go. Like people that are just in it for the fame, he was taking them out, bro. I was just like, God damn.
Man, no joke at all, man. When y'all meet him, y'all see why we're raving over him so much.
Mm-hmm.
I already forgot what his quirk was, but it was pretty nasty.
It's not blood. It's something with the blood. So like if he cuts you and tastes your blood, like you freeze, like you can't move. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he uses it. Like once he freezes you, like he ends you at that point. So good on I think it was your boy Idia or who figured it out in the middle of the fight. Because once they figured that out, it kind of helped them turn the tables on them.
Yeah, they had to keep their distance from them.
yeah. I think for me, fuck, man. Right now, the person I'm fucking with right now is probably Dobby.
Oh man.
Now that full arc came through, I'm just like,
whoo. He the man now. He the like, man now.
You could be mad. I fucks with you. I understand. I understand why you mad, bro. You know, you just trying to make your dad happy, and he like, chill, like, chill out, get out of here. You know, and you just like, all right, bet. You know, you got a favorite kid, you ain't fucking with me. Your firstborn, all right, fuck it. You know,
hey, listen, I'm gonna show you something.
So, this next episode about to be wild, but. First of all, hey, thanks for tuning in, Black man. Appreciate it. And if you get back to listening, solo leveling is the truth, man. But season 1 is done. So if you need something to tie you over, My Hero's here for you.
That's a fact.
I would say the one that is probably intriguing to me is Himiko Toga.
Yeah.
Like her mental state. And I mean, you get a little bit of her backstory and stuff too. So you kind of it's one of those things like we talked about. Like once you realize what your quirk is, people kind of look at you weird. And hers is like, she's almost like a vampire. Like she needs to a supply of blood, and people are just like, "Oh, you're so evil, blah, I hate you." And then so it's easy for her to turn towards the side of villainy, but her attachment to Deku is crazy. And the funny part is like, old girl Ochage ain't trying to have nobody talk to her dude and shit, so, so that's why they button heads a little bit. I'm just like, all right, Deku, you got him fighting over you, my boy. I see you. Man, young Midoriya. Honorable mention to my man Bakugo out here with his long ass name now. Just call him Dynamite.
Man, yeah.
My man was like, yeah, that ain't me no more. Call me this. I'm like, yo, they really doing that. But his arc is crazy too. So to see it from season 1 to where it is now, like he has to be somewhere on your list. So honorable mention. He in there. I gotta say his name. Shout out to my man.
Big time.
Bakugo. So normally the next segment is reserved for Kenpachi to put people on. But I bring this to you, Mr. Deante the Giant. Young Deante the Giant.
Yes, sir.
Is there an anime you would like to put people on? And if so, we can transition over to that.
I got one for y'all.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. As we present to you, or as Deante will present to you, an anime that you should probably put on your radar. What you got for him, man?
I don't know if I mentioned this last week or not, but I know with Kimpachi shouting out to Kaiju number 8, that's definitely really heavy on my watch list right now. I'm a little bit behind on a few episodes, so but I'm happy because now I get to binge it all the way through.
There it is.
I've read the source material before the anime came out, and that was the one thing I looked forward to the most. Even more than Chainsaw Man and Kaiju number 8. About 3 episodes away from being done with season 1, and they're already talking about season 2 is getting the green light. So I'm
Mhm.
very happy with how people are receiving that series. The series that I will put y'all on this week, if I haven't mentioned it before, it's Delicious in Dungeon. Uh, that anime is off the chain. I mean, if you been tapped in with that feeling podcast network and you watch all the what is the name of it? Queens of Nerdum on Friday, uh,
The Fallen Star.
the Fallen Star Friday. If you watch any of it's kind of the same energy with Delicious in Dungeon. It's a D&D anime baby love child story that you can watch on Netflix. Season 1 just ended, and oh my god, it's like 13 or 14 episodes of just straight up goodness. Uh, the way that the characters crack jokes back and forth with each other, you can watch it in English or Japanese, and the sense of humor would still be there. And I love the cast. The cast is good. The story is off the charts. Um, you may be able to catch up. I'm not sure how fast season 2 is going to drop, but season 2 got greenlit quick.
Yo,
And
yes.
when you start that show, you'll see why. It's so good. There's consequences in the story. Like if you screw up, you're going to get your fade ran. There's no plot armor. Not a traditional shonen story. It's just like a team of people, and you follow along as their progression goes. There's Laos, I believe, which is the tall man, blonde haired guy in suit of armor. Chill Chuck, which is like he solves all the booby traps in the Treasure Hunter. He's what is he called? He's called a half foot. His race of people is called a half foot. They have a dwarf, his by the name of Sensui. No Senshi, and he does all the cooking. So Delicious in Dungeon is basically a story of all these travelers going through a dungeon together, taking down monsters, and then Senshi cooks them up and makes them look like a sexy hot plate of foodie goodness that you can eat. And he used
There's
that
an
to nourish
IG
them.
account. There's an IG account that goes through and like tries to copycat like his recipes. And there was one I was looking at like, that should look kind of good, bro. Like that should look
Like that's tasty right there.
I might fuck with that shit, you know. But I mean, if you follow Deante, Saturday Night Nerds, because I know this came up in your group, and there's a handful of people that were just like, bro, Delicious in Dungeon is that. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. They are not lying. It's you just got to give it a shot, and it may not be for you. Like if you're just into the shonen anime, you know this may be a swing and miss. But you know if you just give it a shot, because like I was, you know, I came into anime, you know, hand raise the god, 100% on shonen. It was Bleach, it was Dragon Ball Z, it was bro. If nobody running hands, I ain't trying to see it. You know, fruit baskets, get out of here. That was me. What is this about? Death Note, I was like, I don't know. Oh shit.
Like, wait, hold up.
Yeah. And that kind of opened the door for me. I'm just like, people like, hey man, we gotta watch Death Note. I'm watching it like, bro, ain't nobody running no hands, but it's an evil motherfucker. He gotta go.
Yeah.
Because you like, this motherfucker gotta go. And then people be close to getting him out of here. You be like, yeah, what the fuck, man? So that kind of opened my eyes. You know, you started, you know, looking towards other things like Food Wars, like just for more comedy type stuff, Spy Family.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of them. So this is definitely one of those where I'm just like, I just got introduced to tabletop RPGs, D&D type stuff, playing with the Queens of Nerdum and stuff. So watching this one, I'm just like, bro, I'm all in. It's along the veins of if you watch what's the one that comes on Amazon? Legend of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
That, but like in this animated form, this anime form, and the party, the characters dope. You know what I'm saying? The chemistry between them all is cool. So yeah, I agree with Deante. Like this, if you have not seen this, it's on Netflix. Give it a shot. I'm pretty sure everybody has Netflix, or somebody that has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got a
That knows
profile.
you got a profile. I'm just saying, you may not have it, but you may have access to Netflix. Delicious in Dungeon. You just give it a shot, then come back and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear what you have to say on that.
Absolutely.
Bro, I'm trying to think of I think Kenpachi already mentioned Shangri-La Frontier, didn't he?
Oh,
he kind of mentioned that a little bit. And that's another one that's kind of a RPG type game-ish. So I'm a sucker for that. Sword Art had me on that, and then they started doing some other stuff, but
man.
we'll have an episode on Sword Art in the future, but that has to be discussed at a certain time. When you talk about animes that were like up here, then went down here, and then they doing some other stuff. But yeah, so Delicious in Dungeon from Deante and Shangri-La Frontier. The main character is wild. He's so he's all about playing like games that are like ridiculously hard, like like games that are broken, and people are like, man, this game's too hard. He's about beating them. And then he's looking for the next one. Somebody recommends the Shangri-La Frontier. They're like, bro, this is the game. It's like the Fortnite of its time, or the WoW of its time, if you will. And again, it's an anime, so you get immersed in the world. And he's that dude that's just under-leveled, trying to take on over-leveled characters because he has the skills to do so. And the character he creates is wild looking. So I mean, you got to check it out. I know it's on Crunchyroll. That's where I've been checking it out at. I'm pretty sure it may be on some other sites. But yeah, I guess the theme of put on your radar this week is kind of getting into these RPGs type anime. So yeah, Delicious in Dungeon and Shangri-La Frontier, put them on your radar. But I think it's time for us to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yes, sir. All right, man. Great show. I appreciate you tapping in. And most definitely, man, I know you guys have been seeing us, sans Kenpachi here, but he was feeling a little bit under the weather, couldn't make it tonight. He was going to try to make it. I told him, man, take your time, rest up. We'll be back at it. The three-headed monster will be back sooner rather than later. So, Kenpachi, you get around to seeing this, hearing it. Hope you get better, man. Rest up, and waiting to chop it up with you on the next episode, bro.
Absolutely.
But what do you guys got going on, man? Over on the Saturday Night Nerds side of Facebook, man.
We're finally hashing out the details for what's going to happen next month. Next month there's going to be a Deadpool 3 review, so that'll be like episode 2 of our 4th season. Hopefully we'll have the whole squad back. Thomas will be back, Cameron, Will. If whoever falls out and doesn't make it, we'll maybe even grab a guest from Comically Inclined, to help review it with us. But it's going to be a huge deal for Marvel fans. So that episode should be July 27th at 6 p.m. Central. And then we'll probably do a bonus episode a little bit earlier in the month too, maybe something like my birthday special the weekend prior to the 4th of July and talk about what's going on with the boys.
Let me get in on that.
Oh yeah.
Let me get in on the birthday special, bro. Let me get in on that, man.
Hey, we got a seat for you.
Ooh.
There's a lot of controversy going on with Acolyte and the boys, so I really want to talk about them.
Oh, the boys?
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not anime specific, but the month of June has been like the month that just keeps on giving. Because off the rip, and feel how you feel about it, it's Pride Month. A lot of businesses are celebrating it, changing profile pictures, announcing, wishing people happy Pride Month. And you go to these comments, and it is peak. When people were describing what a snowflake was, this is peak snowflake behavior from the people who claim they are not snowflakes. And I'm loving every second of it. Then not only that, there was like 17 days of, this is what's going on, or like 18 straight days of people getting mad. NFL teams, happy Pride Month. You lost the fan. Video game companies, happy Pride Month. Hey, you just make good games. Stop pandering, bro. It's wild. Like, bro,
God.
If you stop buying PlayStation games, I'm sure they'll be around. Like, you're not the guy keeping them in the fucking black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not keeping them out the red. But that's neither here nor there. Then yesterday, Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth, late Juneteenth. Companies celebrating that. People mad.
Oh my God.
I don't know why you guys are happy about a freedom from slavery when you guys sold yourselves to slavery. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? Just say happy Juneteenth and keep it pushing, or just don't comment at all.
Right.
That's not real freedom. Real Americans were all free on July 4th. That's when I'll celebrate. Why are you panting? Like, bro, why are y'all so mad? And then now the boys, everybody connected with producing, having something to do with the boys, are just like, hey, these asshole characters we're creating are based on these real life people that y'all be fucking with. Woke fucking this woke. The leftists are controlling all of Hollywood. And I'm just, the Acolyte comes out. Oh, it's just woke Disney woke. It's just woke. June has been hitting on all cylinders, man. And I'm here for all of this stuff, bro.
It's enough salt to feed a lot of popcorn. I'm like, you can take all this salt and kill an army of snail with this. I'm like, golly. I can't wait to talk about that, man.
I gotta be in on that. I got to be in on that. Because I'm petty, I don't know if you guys are aware. A little bit, just rub it on a little bit. It'll help you heal. Just get over it real quick. Be a man up. But yeah, so that's dope, man. Birthday special, possibly not concrete yet. But yeah, I hope this Deadpool and Marvel, man, hits like Marvel needs it to hit, because I like their approach on not throwing 5-6 movies out a year. Just kind of focusing on this one here, I think. And then they're just going to move into next year. I think a lot of that was based on the stuff happening with Jonathan Majors, but that's neither here nor there. So cool, man. Most definitely. And then on the DFPN side, obviously my man Black just had a interview with Demo Diamond, the new Mission Pro Wrestling champion. That should be up and out for you guys to check out on the No Gimmicks podcast page. Fallen Star came out last Friday. It's about to drop again tomorrow. Smoke Pit will be live tomorrow for the Patreon members, but then it'll drop on Monday. You know how we do. And for the Patreon members as well, I know this week there was Sans Make It Make Sense, but I'll make it up for you this coming Monday. And the reason was work was crazy this week. This First Sergeant life is sometimes you get some busy weeks, sometimes you get some slow weeks. Last week was a busy week for your boy. So
man.
we just did at that. There might be a story time in this week's Make It Make Sense. So I'll just say that. but names will be changed to protect the innocent. But that's all here, man. A lot of busy stuff. USDN also dropped their kind of conversation on the Acolyte as well. And No Gimmicks also dropped their talk about the Acolyte, as well as what did they talk about? Oh, WCW. Who killed WCW? So it's a lot of stuff going on both on the Saturday Night Nerd side. So if you're not following them, you're wrong. Get with them on that side, and then as well as DFPN. So outside of that, man, I'm done with announcements and stuff.
Yes,
You have
sir.
before we bounce, is there an anime you want to talk about next week?
Let's
Can't
see.
think of one right now.
Off top of my head, I have like a big old cluster of them and trying to decipher which one would be like the sweet spot for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same because like I could easily pick one selfishly that I'd want to talk about, but I'm not sure if that's the one for everybody type stuff. So we'll talk offline. We'll figure something out.
Bet. And Jen, if you down for this Acolyte talk, we're gonna need you in here too.
Let me know when you talk about Studio Ghibli. Okay.
Oh.
We can do that. I do have. I'm still mad that the Boy with the Heron won Best Animated Film over Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
At the Academy Awards, but I'm not holding it against them. They didn't vote. You know, the Academy did that. So, and I get it. Studio Ghibli is just like, you know.
Yeah, it's like
come on, them props. Like it's been a minute since y'all did something. Here's your thing. Like I'm pretty sure it's beautifully animated and stuff, but I'm like, there's no way. Then if that movie don't give me the feels that Across the Spider-Verse did, I'm gonna have some problems. But
right,
because bro,
Spider-Verse was that work.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in to episode 2 of Eat the Cake Anime. We appreciate everybody who tuned in, everybody who left a comment. If you know somebody who digs anime, go ahead and share the stream. Have them come through to the page. Follow Saturday Night Nerds DFPN. All of that good stuff, man. That's where all of your anime talk will be happening. So, unless you got anything else for them, my boy, we can go ahead and play the outro.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, anytime, my guy. Y'all take care. Be easy. Peace.
Peace.